And I'm Turtle Dad. And we're going to talk about this superhero that my son Ted has come up with. And he's going to tell us a little bit about Turtle Man. So, first of all, I want you to tell me a little bit about Turtle Man's powers.
Turtle Man's is super strong. He has other powers, but he has to use them by talking on his little tiny watch.
His little tiny watch.
That shows the pictures of the color things that he moves that he can have.
Okay, so on his little watch, it shows pictures or colors?
Pictures of the kinds of moves he can do.
Okay, so that he'll look on his little watch and he'll find the move that he can do. So he's super strong without the watch, but he needs to pull out the watch in order to find out what move he's going to use. And how does he pick between the different moves?
The watch picks his moves for him because it's always smart enough that it shows him what he'll need.
So the watch itself picks what moves he's going to need. Okay.
Yeah, but he only gets one.
But he only gets one? Like one at a time or one every so often? Or how does that work?
One every battle.
Oh. So he'll be in a battle and he's fighting against his enemy and he's really strong, but he's like, I need that extra boost of power. And so he pulls out his watch and he says, give me a power. Does he like push a button or does he talk to it or what happens there?
He just uses his hands or his feet or anything.
What do you mean?
Because it's powers like fire.
Oh,
he can
okay.
shoot it out of his hands. If it's water, he can shoot it out of his hands. When it's quick speed, he runs real fast.
Right.
When it's anything, but he always gets two moves that he has with him, and it's his turtle strength that he always has, and also his turtle, the thing that he gets.
Okay, so he always has his strength, but he can also sometimes have super speed, if that's what the watch gets him, or fire, if that's what the watch gives him. Is that right?
Or thunder and water.
Or thunder and water. Okay, well, I want to talk about those powers he has, but first of all, the question I wanted to know is, does he talk to the watch and that's how it chooses the power? It says, Turtle Watch, give me a power. Or does he push a button on his hand? Or does he turn a dial and then it picks the power he's going to use? Or what happens?
It's none of those things.
It's none of those things. So what happens?
He punch. He goes, puh.
He punches.
And it goes, huh. And it says, what's you fighting? I'm fighting Wartortle. If Wartortle is water, so water and smart, so he always needs, because he needs thunder for that battle. And when it's Robo Turtle, he needs the real strong powers called but a power like he needs to use strength and water.
Okay.
His water destroys machines.
Sure. So the watch itself analyzes his opponent and gives him what he needs.
Yeah. You want to know about Blood Turtle? Blood Turtle is a fire type.
I think we'll save other characters in the Turtle Man world for a later episode. Really, I just want to know a little bit more about his powers. And so, what powers are on the watch? Like, what kind of powers does he have?
There's just 10 of them.
There's 10 of them?
No, not 10.
Not
5.
5 of them. Okay, there's 5 of them. All right, what are they?
Water.
Water.
Earth.
Earth.
Thunder.
Thunder.
Fire.
Fire.
Wind.
Wind.
And actually, there's one more.
Okay, what's the one more?
Super speed.
Super speed. So you've got kind of 6 powers on this watch that could come up. You've got sounds like you have the 4 elements: water, fire, air, earth. You've also got thunder, which is electricity, I'm guessing. And then there's super speed.
Yeah.
And so what happens is Turtle Man goes into battle. He jumps out, and then the watch analyzes his opponent and says, for this battle, I'm giving you super speed. And then he fights, punches, and he does it really fast. Or another battle he gets into. Sorry, I just kicked the microphone real quick. Sorry about that. The other battle he gets into, he's got an opponent who he's going to use fire against. And so it gives him fire. So he's super strong, and he shoots fire out of his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could see, Ted just kind of acted out how he would shoot fire, but it's really interesting. So, whoa, yeah, like that. All right, so the question I have, what about Turtle Man makes him specifically a turtle?
Well, he has this slide.
He has a what?
A big slide.
A big slide.
Yeah. And he has to go down it to get to his real world. And while he's waiting for it to go down, his back has a shell growing.
Okay.
And his watch, his like normal watch that wings him up, it turns into his watch for fighting. And also his suit becomes black.
Okay, let me see if I understood this, because this is mind-blowing. What you're saying is Turtle Man is a normal person, and he jumps down a slide. Let me see if I heard this right. He goes down this slide, and it goes out of his normal world into a different world?
Yeah, to his Turtle Man world.
To his Turtle Man world. So he leaves the real world and goes into a Turtle Man world, and on the way he grows a shell on his back.
And grows his Turtle Man suit.
And his Turtle Man suit grows around him, turns black, and then his normal watch, which is just a watch for telling time, becomes a turtle watch. Is that what I just heard you say?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is mind-blowing. I've never heard this before. I'm authentically reacting to this because I've never heard this part of the Turtle Man mythos. This is fascinating.
One thing, how it's working, how it happens.
How does it happen?
It happens by he used to he used to have a fire suit. His fire suit, it broke. He made Volcano Man. Then the rest of the pieces of it, the rest of them he used to make his slide when it broke. But when he got the idea of making Volcano Man.
Okay, again, we're gonna have to come back. Man, this is he's trying to see. Ted is just full of all of these ideas, and he wants to run all over the place. So the role of me, your faithful host, Turtle Folk, is to keep him on task. So we're gonna take a mental note that we're gonna talk about Volcano Man, his fire suit, Blood Turtle, all of some other time. We're going to talk about all of that some other time, but we're going to keep on this subject of his powers, his current power set. We're going to get into origin stories and other characters soon, but our friend Turtle Man Ted has so many ideas. So we're gonna stay close, stay focused on this. So he goes down a slide out of his real world with his watch on. So how does he get to his slide?
His slide is usually he has a playground slide.
He has a playground slide. Where does it come out of? Like, where is it located?
It's in the ground.
It's in the ground. Okay, it's in the ground. So is it in his backyard?
Yep.
It's in his backyard. So he goes out of his house into the backyard, jumps down his slide, and does he have to have his watch on to get into the slide? Or how does only Turtle Man get into the slide and not some other villain who wants to sneak into his world?
He needs to, all his villains are in his world.
Right, but how does, like, let's say there's a villain in this world who wants to get into the turtle world. How does he keep them out of the slide?
Well, it's digged into the ground. The whole slide's in the ground.
Right.
The slide, he doesn't just jump in. He just puts it. There's a password on the ground.
There's a password on the ground.
Yeah.
A spoken password?
Yeah, and the password is on the T01.
T01. So Turtle Man runs out. He's got his watch on. He says T01. And then the ground opens. He jumps into it, and there's a slide. He goes swoosh, 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 sliding down the slide. And while he's sliding, his watch transforms into his super smart watch that gives him superpowers. And then his back turns into a turtle shell. His suit turns black. And then he whoosh, swooshes out into his Turtle Man world, ready to fight. And then in this world, he's super strong, ready to fight, but every time he goes into battle, his watch will give him one of 6 powers: earth, fire, water, wind, thunder, or super speed. And that is how he gets to his powers.
Yeah.
My mind is blown. Okay. And what is his turtle shell? What advantage does his turtle shell have?
Shielding himself, and on his arms he has shields.
Okay, so he has shields on his arms and shields on his back. Are the shields something that he has to put on, or is it something that's part of his whole suit?
Part of his whole suit.
Okay, so not only is he turning black and he's got a turtle shell, but he's got shields on his arms that he uses to block. Okay. All right. So this is a list of his powers. Does he have any weapons?
Yeah.
Yeah, what weapons does he have?
He just has 2.
He has 2 weapons. What are they?
Shields.
His shields. Okay, we've already talked about those.
And his watch.
And his watch. So his watch and his shield are his weapons, which makes sense. I kind of assumed that his watch was a weapon, and that's what gives him his powers in addition to his turtle shell and his shields and his strengths. So his turtle shell can block him. Now here's a question. Turtles in our world can pull their heads and their bodies into their shells. Can Turtle Man pull his body into his shell?
Yes.
Yes, he can. What does it look like when he does that? Like, does his arms get smaller, or does he just tuck them in?
Really, he looks like a person in the ball.
A person rolled up into a ball. Okay. And from this turtle shell position, is it only defensive, or does he have some attacks he can do from that turtle shell position?
He can.
He can. Okay, so what does he do?
He can do back slam.
A back slam. Okay.
And also swoop attack.
A swoop attack. What does a swoop attack look like?
Him jumping and rolling up in the sky onto his shell, falling on his shell.
Okay.
Onto the bad guy.
So he jumps up into the sky. He ducks into his turtle shell, and then he
spins.
He spins.
And swoosh.
And swoosh. Hits the bad guy.
Yeah. It
Wow.
never misses.
Never misses. You heard that here, folks. His swoop attack never misses. Perfect accuracy with the swoop attack. If anyone listening is calculating his attack accuracy, for the swoop attack, it is 100%. Okay.
And also, it's 100 XP. It's they defeat a person in one shot.
Okay. So there's experience. Okay,
When
so currently he's telling you how to make the video game. Okay, that makes sense. The XP factor. Okay, so
watch out for the swoop attack.
watch out for his swoop attack. It's a one-shotter if you're not careful. So okay, we've got a really cool sense of his powers and his weapons and a couple of his attacks from his turtle position. Are there any other attacks not in a shell position that we can talk about?
Well,
Sorry, what? Does that have to do with his powers? Or is that just something else?
That's also his powers.
Okay. How about you? Okay, you just explain what you're trying to whisper to me. I don't know how to ask the question. Something about his calmness or his anger. What are you asking? You just say what you're thinking.
Okay. So Turtleman can be mad and calm.
He can get mad and then be calm.
Yeah, because if somebody does something silly and goes and makes him angry.
Okay, so if someone makes fun of him, it makes him angry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mad angry.
Angry.
He tears up everything he sees.
And he tears up everything he sees. So he has okay, wow. So this is kind of like a berserker mode. He gets mad and he just starts beating up everything. How does he keep from beating up good guys as well as bad guys?
Well, usually when he tells everybody when to not come and when to come.
Oh, so he really has no control when he's in anger mode. So he has to keep his anger under wraps when he's not wanting to use that, right? Otherwise, he might hurt someone that he cares about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Volcano Man, he can handle it because he can turn small.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that some other time, but yeah. So he's got a berserker mode, but if he's calm. How does he stay calm in order to not go into his berserker mode?
He has to have a guitar everywhere.
He has to have a guitar everywhere.
Yeah, because a guitar he always has to play to make him feel calm.
So he has to play his guitar to stay calm. Wow. So okay. So Turtle Man is a guitarist. And he plays that guitar to stay calm. And he has to stay calm. Otherwise, he goes into berserker mode. Where he... so in berserker mode, he just starts punching everyone, destroying... Is there a strength increase when he's in berserker mode?
Well, he only gets calm when he sees the color black.
Okay, so two things calms him. His guitar, playing guitar, and the color black?
Yeah.
The color black is calming for him. Okay.
Yeah, because black's his favorite color.
Because black is his favorite color. If he sees black. So, but I'm asking, what happens when he gets angry? You said he goes crazy and he attacks everything. But does he increase in strength when he gets angry?
Yeah.
Okay. He increases in strength when he gets angry. So when he gets angry, he gets so much stronger. But then he keeps Berserker raging until he either sees the color black, is able to play his guitar and calm down. Can his friends calm him down?
Well, sometimes they bring music and sing a song, but and also a band can make him feel better.
Okay, so band can make him, music can make him calm down, so his friends can calm him down with music.
Yeah.
Okay. They do say that music soothes the savage beast.
Okay.
All right, so we figured out a little bit of his attack capabilities and his defenses in his shell. The question I have is, what does Turtle Man do when he gets hurt?
When he gets hurt, he can just heal.
He can just heal.
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay. How does he heal? How long does he heal? Does it take... Is it instantaneous? Is it take time?
He rots into his shell.
Okay.
He sleeps for 2 minutes.
He sleeps for 2 minutes in his shell.
Yeah.
And then he heals.
Yeah. Then when he comes out, if he was mad and got defeated and got tired, it said that, and when he wakes up, he becomes calm.
Okay. So that's another way he can become calm, is by having to heal from his injuries. He'll wake up calm. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are there any other powers that we haven't mentioned yet that are important to note for Turtle Man?
Turtle Man, well, usually he doesn't have any powers than that, but let's get on to the fun part.
What's the fun part? How he builded his life?
No, slide.
How he built his slide. I think we're going to have to talk about that some other time. We'll take note of that, and we'll come back to that. Because it sounds like it has to do with some of his origin story, which is what we're going to talk about.
He can be smart.
Okay, we're going to talk about that. So he's smart, what you're saying. He built his slide. Okay, so this is another power. He is smart. So... Okay, so he's smart enough that he was able to build his slide that got him into the turtle world.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's also got intelligence. He's not just a berserker anger guy. He's not just a strong guy. He doesn't just have his watch, but he's also really smart. Okay.
Okay, you know what else he can... You know how it got into the world?
No, that's going to be part of the origin story. We're going to talk about that next week. Okay? Okay. I got you. We got to stay focused. People want to hear about this, about the origin story, or about his powers first. We'll talk about his origin story next time. Okay, so we've got a sense of how Turtle Man is powerful, all of his powers, and he's also very smart. And what I think is we've got a pretty good sense of the powers of Turtle Man. I'm sure there will be more as we get into his origin story, as we find out more about his friends and his enemies, and more about his world. And we'll even start hearing some stories of Turtle Man in future episodes. But I think right now we've got a pretty good sense of how strong he is. Are there any other powers we need to talk about before we go?
No.
No. Okay. So, that sounds good. All right. So we're going to wrap it for this episode of Turtle Man and Turtle Dad. Is there anything you want to say before we go, Turtle Man, Ted?
Bye.
You're too loud. Say it again.
Bye.
All right, Turtle fans, this is Turtle Dad, and I'm going to bring a little bit of a recap here. And this is how I'm going to end all of our Turtle Man episodes, with sort of recapping what we've already learned so far about Turtle Man. So, today, we learned about how Turtle Man activates his powers. That Turtle Man is a normal person in our world who goes out his back door. He has a watch, a normal watch. But when he goes out the back door, he finds a patch in his yard that he speaks a password, which the password is T01. And then the ground opens up. There's a slide that appears. He jumps into it. And by the way, it's a playground slide dug into the ground. He jumps into the slide, and as he goes down, this slide transports him into the turtle world. And while sliding, his normal watch transforms into a power watch. His suit turns black. His shell grows on his back, and he becomes Turtle Man. And as Turtle Man, he has super strength, and also his watch is a power watch that is a smart watch able to choose the power that he needs for a given battle, but it only gives him one power per battle. It activates immediately at the beginning of the battle and gives him one of 6 powers: fire, water, earth, wind, thunder, and super speed. Also, he has turtle shields on his arms in order to block attacks, and a turtle shell to guard his back, which he's able to pull his arms and legs and head into this in order to guard himself, or to perform the back smash move, where he smashes against his bad guy, or the turtle swoop move, where he jumps high into the air, pulls himself into his shell, spins, and swoops down and smashes the bad guy. And we also learned that this turtle swoop attack never misses. It has 100% accuracy. He's also super intelligent as the inventor of his slide, which we're going to learn more about that in a future episode. That slide is brand new to me. And he, if he doesn't stay calm, goes into berserker mode. His berserker mode, when he goes into that, he gets super mad and gets a lot stronger and smashes everything he sees. So he loses control, and he can only calm down when he gets too injured and needs to rest and heal, or when he hears music, or when he sees the color black. And because music helps to soothe him, he plays guitar to stay calm. He also has healing powers, as I mentioned just now. When he pulls himself into his shell and rests for 2 minutes, that's what it takes for him to heal. Okay, so these are his powers, and we got some moves. And as you could hear, he is full of ideas. And I just wanted to really briefly tell you why I'm doing this, because you may wonder. The reason I decided to start this podcast with my son is because he, if you know him, loves to tell about this superhero that he invented named Turtle Man. And he's such a creative kid, and I wanted to give him an outlet to talk about this, and also a way that friends and family can kind of enjoy his crazy mind. And also as a way for him to think about storytelling. I want to encourage his creative mind and help him to think about how to tell stories. And I'm hoping that over the years, or however long we do this, that he can look back on these episodes and think about the ways that he has grown as a storyteller, maybe, or ways that he can learn from his early stories and things like that. And so I'm really hoping that this can be a really fun project for Ted and I over the years. And if you have decided to become a Turtle fan, or part of, as he likes to call it, his Turtle Squad, maybe leave a comment, let him know, and how much you enjoy his stories and his creativity. And even if you're interested and you're listening carefully to his descriptions of Turtle Man and you want to draw or color a picture of Turtle Man, he would love to see those as well. He's really excited to start this project, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So, thanks for listening to Turtle Man and Turtle Dad. What about Turtle Man makes him specifically a turtle?
Well, at least he
Okay, you hit the mic. So start over. So hold on. You hit the mic, so you got to start over. Go ahead.
I'm Turtle Man, and this is...
No. We don't start the whole thing over. That's okay. I mean, start over answering that question. What specifically... Okay, so I'm going to ask it again, okay? What specifically makes Turtle Man a turtle?